Alright, setting up. Technical difficulties here. There we go. Combatants are set. Tizago on the left, SUPERSHOCKY on the right, both of which taking their T-spins at relatively the same time. SUPERSHOCKY choosing the route to tank. And SUPERSHOCKY's gonna be in that 7-2 stack, so they have the potential to be very efficient in this phase 1. Which is most of the time secondary to speed, but if this can lead to an amazing first zone, especially while Tizago is misdropping here, then this could be devastating. And Tizago is going to find the Kerptris! 64 damage getting sent to SUPERSHOCKY. And I believe Tizago had some free pressure as well. So if Shocky doesn't get an efficient zone here, it's gonna be tough. They do have the option to tank, and they're actually gonna outsend what Tizago was just doing. A very impressive feat. But this is a very awkward board state for Shocky. They are going to be forced to waste I. Going against the counter for, maybe deciding not to send Tizago more material to get counter spiked by. But both of these players are currently in transition pace if they decide to zone. Both of these players are very much aware of the possibility of a zoneless transition and what it's capable of. So with that option in the air, I'm very curious what they're going to do. Shocky fires first, but this will be a simul. No pre-pressure in sight. Whoever wins his zone interaction is going to be in pristine shape. And Tizago's gonna find a second Kerptris at 66 damage. So that's gonna be a lot of lines on Shocky's board. And there's just no way out of that one. Tizago able to maintain 130 DPM during that. Shocky able to play above 1 APP. But those large spikes were a little bit too frequent. And Shocky is going to accept the PC. Putting Tizago in a position where they can't take the full C-spin, so they do not have kill threat here. But they do get column 7 garbage. So she's going to be put in that 6-3 scenario, assuming she can access it. This is phase 1, so she does get that material immediately. Has a zone meter if it comes down to it, and that was very greedy for her to continue tanking in that situation. But she definitely knows her limits. And Shocky knows better than to chase this with zone. Shocky's gonna start it at the closest opportunity. Choosing to forgo continuing the combo. And oh my goodness, Tizago's finding PCs. She's trying to find the curb, but it's just not there. The Q doesn't like her, but that's still gonna be a very high attack, 62 ulti. Shocky was able to take majority of that. So they are gonna take that zone meter advantage. Tizago gonna be stuck in 9-0. Nothing a few counter 4s can't fix. Tizago is gonna find max meter first. I mean, Shocky's gonna find max meter first. Tizago not too far behind. And very interesting for them to simulzone here. Both of which just barely under 40k. So it's possible that we don't see a transition if neither makes max lines. That is exactly what happens. And Tizago's gonna be the recipient of most of that clean. Given that it was a simul, having that material advantage could be huge. But Shocky knows better and sent that pressure as early as they could. Tizago forced into doing some micro combos to find their way down. But their garbage really doesn't like them right now. Not too many clean ways out, not too much combo maintenance allowed. Meanwhile, Shocky's maintaining efficiency the best they can. That is going to force the zone out of Tizago. She doesn't have high overcharge, so if she can't mitigate all of it here, it's gonna be tough. And oh my goodness, that is a C-spin on Shocky's board. They're gonna choose to take it out of zone and pressure Tizago even more. Shocky pops their zone now. And unfortunately, they did start the zone with a lot of skimming, so it's not going to be the most efficient. But they still make it up to 14 lines. So that's going to be 33 being sent over. And Tizago chooses to tank all of it, gambling really heavily that they're going to get a better opportunity to zone later. Unfortunately, that first clear isn't going to be a Tetris, so their damage is going to be lacking here as well. But this board state is looking like a neutral assured destruction scenario, and whoever has the better down stack might just win. Both of which finding a 5 combo down stack. The players really are neck and neck. Meter, material, and mindset. Shocky is going to find Max first, looking for the best opportunity they can find. And Tizago's just trying to make their way down. They are going to find this T-spin. Gonna keep it really efficient. And Shocky's gonna start zone right now, and Tizago starts in the better board state. Shocky trying to keep it as efficient as they can. Finds 29 attack, and Tizago fires back with 45. And because of the simul, there's no meter in sight for Shocky. And Tizago's gonna take that round. Definitely neck and neck for that whole time, but Tizago with his speed advantage, it's still tough to overcome. And we're gonna see the 6-3 from Shocky and the C-spin from Tizago. Tizago is going to go for the PC, she finds it. Gonna set up the DPC. And misdropping when there's a DPC on the board is not something you usually want to see. And Super Shocky only has one line of overcharge. So if Tizago gets more PCs, it's not looking good. The quick end isn't an option. They need to cancel as much as they can right now. And this DPC is still active. This is phase 1 though. Yet even then, it's not enough. And Tizago with that looping gonna maintain a perfect 1 APP. And oh my goodness, that zone attack per minute. The brain rot when you see it. I'm so sorry. Tizago knows if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Starts the C-spin. Declines the PC route, though. Potentially expecting Shocky to be ready for it this time. Which is definitely fair, because once you get looped once, it's always going to be on your radar for every subsequent opening. Which is good and bad on both sides of the coin. And Shocky's taking really greedy donations here. That OP's not allowed to climb, but they're still gonna find a nice 44. And if Tizago isn't able to get max lines, this could be very, very bad. It's exactly what happens. He's gonna try to IRS. But there's just no more skims allowed, no more tanking, and no more meter. And that's going to put Shocky on the board. Both of which had 79 APM. Very even potential. Tizago C-spinning again. And she is going to take the PC route. But she's a little bit too slow to find it. It ends up misdropping their S piece as well, so that's gonna put a hamper in their resolution efficiency. Very nice overhangless find. And they're gonna combo all the way down. Gonna put a lot of pressure on Shocky, but they're gonna be out just fine. And oh my goodness, very greedy tanks from Shocky once again. But when you're at a speed disadvantage, this is kind of what you have to do. Best way to even out the material on the board. Both players ending zone soon. And Shocky, unfortunately, is in an impossible impossible IHS scenario. The curve was there, but the game said no. Excellent vision, but they are going to be put on the back foot for that. Luckily for them, Tizago is doing a lot of misdrops. So she's gonna be very inefficient for the time being. It's gonna give Shocky ample opportunity to come back. And we're gonna see the swag tower from Shocky. Unfortunately, they're gonna take that first TSD as a TSD. Forcing them to bail out of that swag tower entirely. And Tizago is gonna chase that immediately, knowing that Shocky doesn't have too much potential here. Shocky's gonna build that TST, but it's gonna be entirely on mitigation. Tizago is trying to find a higher clear. And that's gonna be a 50 attack ulti. Shocky sees the zone chunks. But that's still about 20 lines each. They cancel 17, but that's not gonna be enough to survive. And that's gonna be Tizago at match point. Tizago C-spinning once again. Very confident in this opener. Doesn't have the sequence in order to take PC, and even though she misdrops there, she is still allowed to take the C-spin if she finds that J-piece in time. It's exactly what happens. Tizago loves to do this a lot. She loves the C-spin because it actually gives a surprising amount of versatility. You have a lot of tanking options. You can always just delay the C-spin and just get a better power stack. PC route. So she's never afraid to pull it out. And Shocky's just gonna chill in this 7-2. Choosing to count to 4 here. Thinking about their next move. Just gonna open well as soon as they can. Find this TSS. And Tizago finds a very nice TST there. Shocky's gonna start zone first, and Tizago's gonna choose to simul it. She does have a little bit of pre-pressure, about 5 lines. Could be a difference maker. Shocky has potential for a 20. Runs out of time. And Tizago also runs out of time. Had they gotten that 20, I think that was a one-shot threat. But Shocky lives another day. Both of these players coming up on transition is entirely in Tizago's favor right now. At a dangerous score margin. And they're going to choose to take the zone. They're not going to take it zoneless. But that was a lot of skimming being done there. Meanwhile, Shocky skims is all in a combo. And Shocky is going to find the ulti. And that's going to be a huge damage lead. Tizago doesn't have any meter. Gets it just when she needs it. But she only has about a line of overcharge right now, so it's still not looking good. It's all on Shocky to find that kill shot now. Gonna use a roll of 2s to pressure Tizago. Tizago trying to get as much overcharge as she can. Definitely a good play. And Shocky's still looking to find this kill. Tizago at the tippy top. But not forced to do anything drastic just yet. Shocky has been stuck in a 9-0 for a decent amount of time, though, which is giving Tizago some time. Tizago's gonna find that 6 combo. And she's managed to upgrade her situation to one of mutually assured destruction. And she's gonna use this zone entirely to downstack. Still gonna send 22 over. Shocky was not able to take a Tetris with that first clear. So this damage is gonna be quite lacking. But they're still gonna get the out zone sent over to Tizago. Shocky trying to find more donations. But Tizago's not letting up. Tizago has not been below halfway in the board for the past 2 minutes. Super Shocky, amazing count to fours. They're gonna think about the TST, they're gonna go for it. Unfortunately, it's a little bit too late for their liking, and they're gonna be forced to zone. This is actually gonna give Tizago a very nice opportunity here, as they did have pre-pressure. And Tizago's taking this really fast, might be looking for a quick end. That's exactly what happens. Tizago's gonna set up a TST to follow up. Swag Tower, my beloved. And Super Shocky, with no overcharge, is gonna bite the dust here. That is game set Tizago. That matchup definitely could have gone either way. Congratulations, Tizago.